inevitably, if somebody didn't raise their hand to say it sucked, I would say, who thought it sucked, the exercise of journaling? And of course, there were a few hands.
Yeah.
But they themselves argued right back in favor for it, saying, I didn't like it because it was too real. I'm not used to addressing or even looking at those feelings.
Right.
Speaking about them internally, like the internal monologue, we kind of quiet down and we bypass it. Well, let's put words to your inner monologue and now stare at it. And they would say, these words are now staring me in the face.
Huh.
And I'm like, how, is this beneficial? Do you see the benefit in the gaps? They're the ones saying that they need this after I've already put them through this weird exercise of journaling.
Right.
And it was pretty remarkable to see. So I would argue that most people don't realize the value in it until they've been through the exercise of journaling.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think to recap what you're saying, when you're not sure where to go, what to do, maybe when you're not sure who you are, there's some simple things to do. Think, talk, and listen. And there's something about thinking about the right questions, thinking about the right conversations, the questions. And that's getting back to really the context of what we're doing here with U-School, with this podcast, with content and curriculum. People ask me all the time, what is U-School? It's an abstract name. U-School, it's a school you go to figure yourself out and figure out who you are, all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's it. But in a nutshell, what is U-School? It's a series of questions. It's questions that we've kind of painstakingly paid attention to figure out what are the right and more productive and helpful questions. That if you answer these questions, you will get clearer about the big three things: your identity and your purpose and how to have healthy relationships. These questions are so important, and they're questions that aren't given in school necessarily. They're not given on like an intake form as you enlist in the military. They're not given to you as you walk your way out of the military. There may be questions you get at a campfire or a retreat if you're a part of a community that does that, but maybe a good mentor will ask you these questions. Or maybe a lot of times I think people have these questions in the back of their minds, but it gets distorted on the way in. So the question of who are you gets distorted to you're nothing, or you don't have what it takes. Or if you could have a few more things, a few more possessions, a few more accolades, then you'll be something or someone. That gets distorted by ourselves, to your point. Last